Hi friends, Willie here, your sustainability steward at the center at Donaldson. Come on in and see what we've been up to this week. We all have choices here at the center, and each day we decide whether we're going to have our choices improve the quality of the earth or if we're going to let those choices pollute and harm the earth. So which do we choose? Here at the center, we have decided to embrace sustainability principles and practices, and we are actively putting a plan together. So here's a little something about our plan. You've probably heard the word sustainability over the last few years. So what does sustainability really mean? The definition for sustainability means meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This is a great statement created by the United Nations in the late 1980s, but it doesn't really tell us how to put sustainability into action. Thankfully, we do not have to figure this out on our own. We were fortunate enough to find an organization that has already created the format the center at Donaldson will use. The Natural Step was created in 1989 by Carl Heinrich Robert, who was a cancer cell scientist in Sweden. He was asking the same question, what is sustainability and how can it be defined through a scientific lens? Unable to find his answers, he set out to create and define what sustainability meant through a scientific application. He began to look at scientific foundations of the law of conservation in matter and thermodynamics, and basically he found that science tells us that left to its own devices, the earth will self-regulate and maintain balance. The planet is balanced through these cycles of nature, the water cycle, the carbon cycles, the nitrogen cycles, and it's powered by the sun. Science tells us that matter is not created or destroyed because plants are the only cells that can produce structure or matter from energy. Photosynthesis is the process by which matter is structured on our planet. That is why we say photosynthesis pays the bills. Without it, creation of structure from energy would not occur and entropy would rule. One way to think about sustainability and these scientific principles is through the triple bottom line. Just like businesses have a financial bottom line, the earth also has elements that it must have in balance to maintain and sustain life on this planet. As the original creators of structure, plant cells are in the largest part of this circle, which is the environment. Everything comes from nature at some point, and this is the circle in which everything else depends, or in which everything else is embedded. The next circle is society, or the human race, and it's the social aspect of the triple bottom line. And it exists within the environment. And within the society circle is the economy. It's the byproduct of society. These three circles are nested within each other, and the order of the circles must maintain this order to have balance. To bring the center at Donaldson into this nested relationship with environment, society, and economy to create harmony and balance, we are going to examine our actions through 4 factors and create 4 counteractions to each one of these violations. The 4 root causes of an unsustainable system are: 1. We, meaning society, extract large quantities of material from the Earth's crust, which is oil, minerals, precious metals, gas, at such a rapid rate that nature is unable to replenish the supply by which we are pulling. Second, we create chemicals and substances that are not found in nature. Some of the chemicals we have created take thousands of years to break down, while others are produced in such a vast quantities that nature is unable to break them down efficiently. We physically inhibit nature's ability to run the natural cycles. So for example, we have systematically removed trees at a faster rate that they can regrow, or we replace ecosystems such as the Amazon with infrastructures of buildings and parking lots. The first 3 are ecological issues, but the 4th is a social. We create barriers for individuals to meet their own basic needs. We contribute to this system by purchasing goods made in harmful working conditions and inadequate compensation to workers. In a sustainable society, we will systematically eliminate our contributions to the increasing concentrations of substance extracted from the Earth's crust. The important word here to remember is systematically. That doesn't mean we are never going to use oil or gas during the transition. However, it means that we will use these resources wisely and with consideration to their rate of regeneration. The second principle states, in a sustainable society, nature is not subject to systematically increasing of substances produced by a society. The word here is substance, and it refers to chemicals and compounds that nature has either never seen before, like chlorofluorocarbons, also known as CFCs, or has only seen in small amounts. This doesn't mean that we can't create substances. However, to be truly sustainable, we need to use chemicals and substances that easily break down so that they will not systematically accumulate in nature. The third principle, in a sustainable society, nature is not subject to systematically increasing of degradation by physical means. This is how we physically alter nature and its cycles. For example, the excess logging and fishing we have seen. This doesn't mean that we can't cut trees, but it means that we need to be mindful of our suppliers and their operations. And fourth, and sometimes the one principle that is overlooked, states that in a sustainable society, people are not subject to conditions that systematically undermine their capacity to meet their needs. In order to be truly sustainable, we need to be conscious of our partnerships with businesses and organizations that use manufacturing processes that create barriers either through financial or physical means for individuals to meet their own basic human needs. As we transition from old mottos and sayings such as business as usual, we ask and invite each one of you to join us to create a future that is sustainable here at the Center at Donaldson.